Yeah, okay, guys. The road trip is over. 7 days, 3,000 kilometres, 6,000, well, 6,500, eight and a half, thanks for 8,500 magazines, which will give us, once they've all been read, about 60,000 readers having their minds blown into another galaxy, far, far away. So, you know, a small angry Wookiee dwarf with small Wookiee syndrome, but a deadly aim. A cool, calm driver who's managed to do 15 parsecs, and we have been a very good, successful rebel run. Just putting out a publication which effectively turns around and kind of highlights the silliness of some of the far right and some of the far left arguments, and just kind of explain how a lot of this polarisation has been kind of generated by outside influences. Anyway, I'm staying at a really nice place in Dunedin tonight, and there's actually, oddly enough, a school downstairs. Unfortunately, you can't probably hear that, but there's really a pretty amazing violin concerto going down with the students, like doing this music. And this morning they were doing like a gospel thing, and then they were doing some parihaka this morning, and it's pretty special, you know. So yeah, a little glimmer. We go on about things that trigger us, things that make us depressed, things that make us feel that we are powerless. And yet there is so much in the world that we can actually gain inspiration from, that can actually give us hope and make us realise that we're all really wonderful and powerful individuals capable of doing amazing things once we give ourselves permission to have voice and to speak out. You don't need to do it necessarily angrily, and sometimes I will admit that I'm not the best keeper of my little horns, but you know, if you do things calmly and you do things in a way which is about showing people a constructive way forward, and I mean way forward means, you know, where you actually have quality of life, you don't need to be charging the police barricades, you don't need to be getting all angry, getting all afraid. That's what they kind of want us to do. And that's the game. We get afraid, we react, we do silly things, but if we just keep calm and carry on, and you know, just laugh at the absurdity of this whole entire system, and call it out for the joke it really is. I don't think you can go too far wrong. So, you know, things are going to happen, other crises are going to occur, the usual players are going to jump over the parapet. Let them be gunned down by the empire, the evil empire. And instead, you know, use the force. Don't get into the buying into the anger. Anger leads to fear, or fear leads to anger, anger leads to the dark side, and that's probably the worst fucking Yoda impersonation I've ever done in life. Anyway, that's the end of the BEN&JAH-SUN's election special. Thank you, very big shout out for Jace, wonderful driver, was my Luke. Not Luke, as you can see, I'm tired. He was the Han Solo, the cool, calm, collected dude, while I was being the short, angry Wookiee with Wookiee syndrome, as I am inclined to be, because let's face it, diplomacy is really not my middle name. And again, you know, so I've been thinking about a lot of things of recently, which is, number one, it's like, you know, if someone ever, like, I am not a saint. Let's make this crystal clear. If anybody ever wants to turn around and throw, oh, yeah, don't behave this way, you smoke, you drink, whatever, it's like, yes, I do. I'm me. And you can put whatever label you want on me, left wing or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm me. I'm an independent voice trying to show you as wide a perspective of things that are taking place as I can. It's only my perspective. It's not the only perspective. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm always right all the time. But I don't care. I don't have to be right all the time. All I have to be is honest, and I have to be show where my material come from, and get you to come along and learn that this journey is not just about reading my stuff, but going out there and actually checking material and learning from me how you can actually discern, not just to go out and collect information that, you know, feeds your own echo chamber. Ultimately, what I would really like to be is more, I guess, more as seen as an educator than as possibly as a publicist. I'm not really that keen on fame. You might notice I had 3,500 people on my Facebook page at the beginning of this year. It's now 400. I've culled it off. I've largely decided that this whole online life, you know, it's like cool. It's been fun. A lot of you guys, I've got to meet you, and it's been wonderful. I probably am not going to be here much longer. I've just come to the conclusion this thing is a handcuff. Anyway, may the force be with you all, and that was very fun. We've still got nearly 3 weeks out before the election, for 3.5 weeks. I'm sure I can come up with some other little stunt to kind of carry on my role as an educator and getting people out there to kind of realise, don't think tribal, don't think left-wing, don't think right-wing, don't even think what is on your algorithm feeds, because that's the thing that you've actually been fed. That's the thing that, the things that you are not actually seeing on your feeds, those are probably the things that you should be actually really, thinking about. Ironically, if you're seeing this particular social media feed, then obviously it wasn't that important. To be fair, there's probably only about 40 of you that, because there was 135,000 of you that used to see it, but that's another story for another day. May the force be with you.